Okay, so tonight what I wanted us to cover was to talk about IPA, income producing activity. And before we kind of get into that, I really just want to talk briefly about the importance of time management, because you can't really talk about IPA if you don't address time management. So when I think about all of us, all of the people on my team, all the people on your team, we are really busy. Okay, a lot of us, most of us are working full time. Most of us have kids, little ones, older ones. We're running around, getting them to and from all sorts of activities. We volunteer, we've got church stuff, any kind of service organizations, friends, family, we're busy. So I know that you guys are being pulled in 100 different directions on a daily basis. So what tends to happen is when people start a network marketing business or start Plexus, they say, I really want to be successful at this. I just don't have the time. And I'm sure you've heard that from people that maybe you've brought Plexus up to. But I really want you guys to kind of stop yourself if you hear yourself say that, or if you have said that to yourself out loud or just in your mind. Because when you say that, what you're really telling yourself is it's not a priority. And your brain subconsciously is, it's not that it's about the time, it's about the priority, because we make time for the things that are important. So I really want you guys to kind of shift that focus if you're falling into that trap, and just recognize that this business takes you making the effort to carve out time to work this business effectively. And so the first thing you need to evaluate is, am I making excuses and that I don't have the time? I mean, I love y'all, but if you're saying that, that's an excuse. So first thing is, be honest with yourself. And then the second thing is, if you are willing to carve out that time, us as a team, we want to give you guys the tools and the resources you need to make that time as effective as possible. So really what I'm asking is really for you to just find 20 to 30 minutes in your day to work your business in a focused, consistent, driven, no distractions kind of way. And you will see results if you commit to doing that. So if there's a day that you can't find 30 consecutive minutes, it is okay to do 15 in the morning and 15 in the evening, 10 in the morning, 10 in the evening, give more on days that you can. That's totally fine. So it's going to take a sacrifice of time, but it's totally worth it. And if you have bought into the vision of what this opportunity can be, you won't question that, whether or not that time commitment or sacrifice is worth it. If you aren't really convinced on that part yet, then I encourage you to go back and watch some Diamond documentaries, watch whatever you need to do, talk to people who have been successful, build your belief, and recognize that the success can be a reality for you too. And you really have to have that vision to get you through the days where you don't want to work your business, and to make that sacrifice and to keep making that sacrifice. So the first thing is, like I said, look at your schedule if you haven't already done this, and find out where you can give minutes, where you can give 20, 30 minutes of your time. Look at the areas where you are time wasting. So these are things that you're doing that aren't adding any value to your life. Okay. So like TV, I think I heard a statistic the other day that on average, Americans watch 2 hours of TV a day. So 2 hours, evaluate that. How much time are you watching, Netflix, or playing games on your phone, Candy Crush or whatever, scrolling Facebook, scrolling Pinterest? What are these things that you can give up? So for me, I have given up a lot of sleep. I stay up later. After I get my kids to bed, I stay up past anybody else, and I get up before anybody else. And that's when I work my business. I work when they're napping. I use that time as well. So, and we did give up cable, not necessarily for Plexus purposes, but it has helped because I'm not distracted. That distraction has been removed. So use your time wisely and evaluate that, and do not let your days slip by with this business. One thing I want you guys to write down is, discipline is freedom. And it's so true. I know that in the midst of it, discipline may not feel like that. I know that there are days it's not easy, it's not fun, but the discipline is where the reward comes. So if you if you make an effort to be disciplined in your life, in your business, with your IPA, be disciplined with reaching out, following up. It's going to pay off. It will pay off in this business, and the payoff is big. So, in Presley Swaggerty's book, Millionaire by Halftime, he says that discipline is doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, whether or not you feel like it. So there will be days you don't feel like doing your IPA. Let's be honest. It's going to happen. But discipline is doing what doing it anyway, regardless of what your feelings are telling you. Staying connected to your why and to the vision of what this could be. That's discipline. So discipline is freedom, and we're all after that freedom. That's what we want, is the time freedom, the financial freedom. So let's be disciplined together. IPA, first and foremost, it starts with a plan. So now that you know, okay, I need this 20 minutes, this 30 minutes, look at your schedule, figure out where you can give it. Think in terms of minutes and not hours. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I have no time. I don't have an hour to give to this business. Think in minutes, think in 5-10 minute increments. I would encourage you to get a timer. Like I use our little kitchen timer when I sit down to do my IPA, because if I set that timer and I do nothing but IPA, income producing activity, for 20 minutes, I just work until that timer goes off, and I am so much more effective. So if you need to get that timer and take it with you wherever it is you're going to be doing your IPA, get out your planner, plan ahead the week in advance, a month in advance, whatever you need to do. And when you sit down at your computer to do your IPA, which we're going to detail that out here in a second, I want you to open up Facebook if that's where you're doing. If you're doing, messaging or emailing or whatever via Facebook, open your Facebook and do not look at your notifications. Don't even touch that button. Don't look at any other messages. Open up the message, open up the person that you're going to send them, get in there, send your message, follow up with who you're supposed to follow up, get straight to it, and then get out. That is not, your IPA time is not the time for you to scroll Facebook, to see what other people are up to. That you can do that later. Your IPA is the time that you are giving to your business. So get in there, do it, and get out. So IPA is not. Let's talk about really quickly what it's not, and then we'll talk about what it is. We'll talk about that really good 3-2-1+1 formula. So IPA, a lot of times we do get caught up in getting on Facebook, getting on our team pages, and just looking around, scrolling through, seeing what people are doing, seeing what our Plexus people are doing. Connecting to Plexus people, looking in our back office, checking our points, reading a little something, that is stuff that is good. It's important, but it's not income producing. It's not what brings you your Friday paychecks and your paychecks on the 15th. Those, you want to be doing income producing activity every day. And those are the things that are earning you your paycheck. Okay. So a lot of times people fall into that trap. They think, gosh, I thought about Plexus a lot today. Like maybe I read an article or I got on those team pages, and man, like my mind was super stimulated by Plexus, but they did nothing that was income producing. And so that none of that activity contributed in any way to getting new customers or building your team, expanding your team, expanding your paycheck. Those are good, but that's not what we're talking about with IPA. So what is IPA? What is income producing activity? So a really great formula would be the 3-2-1+1. And I'm sure some of you guys have probably heard of these formulas before. We've heard it kind of presented a variety of different ways, but the 3, okay, so the 3 is to reach out to 3 new people every day. So you're going to be getting out your Frank's list, okay? And we talked a lot about this in our team call 2 weeks ago, and that's recorded. You can go back to it and look at this, the specifics of how to reach out. But the important thing about this is getting out your Frank's list and looking through it, reaching out to 3 new people every day, adding to your Frank's list every day, adding to your circle, getting out, getting involved, meeting new people, getting connected, bringing them onto your list and into your Facebook circle. So, a lot of times people will say, gosh, I've worked through my whole list. And, professionals in network marketing will tell you that their list will never dry up because their eyes are open. They see how many people they come into contact with every day. So I want you to be talking to, it doesn't even have to be on Facebook, but reaching out to 3 new people that you are out and about seeing. Maybe you're dropping your kids off at school, or someone, at church, or in any kind of like organization that you're involved in, someone at work. I mean, reaching out to 3 new people. Using your Facebook friend list to stay connected. We talked about that, making that Facebook friend list and engaging them on Facebook. So what I mean by reaching out is just getting a conversation going. That's all I'm talking about. I don't mean puking Plexus on them. I don't even mean that you have to bring up Plexus. It's just reconnecting and starting a conversation with them. And this could be, a lot of times it is on Facebook, but it could be a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be an email. It could be going to coffee, going to lunch. But most of the times it is on Facebook, paying attention to what your friends are doing and reaching out to them. Oh my goodness, your kids are getting so big. I can't believe it. What's new with you guys? And one of the things we talked about in our team call a couple weeks ago was using that 2 sentences, 1 question formula, where you keep it short and sweet and you always end with a question, because this is a conversation. And eventually Plexus will come up. People will say, what's new with you? That's your open window. And that's when you're going to share in a restrained way. Again, you're not going to, puke Plexus, puke peek on them, but you're going to just start sharing. So reach out to 3 people every day, 3 new people. And if you think about that, if you did that every day for a month, do you realize that is 90 people in 1 month that you would be connecting to? If you did that, think about that for your business, what kind of impact that would have. If you were consistent in doing that for a month, for 2 months, for 6 months, think how many people you would come into contact with. Think how many people would be interested in joining your team. We talk a lot about that. You're digging for gold and you're trying to reach out and find those people who want what you have. You will find someone who wants what you have if you're reaching out to 90 people in a month. That's going to happen. It's a numbers game, so that will happen. So when you think about making your plan for these 3 people that you're going to reach out with, that's why having your planner and making a plan ahead of time is so important. So like you could, for the week, on a Sunday, you could get your planner, get your Frank's list, and you could say, okay, who am I reaching out to on Monday? Write their 3 names on your planner. Who am I reaching out to on Tuesday? Write those 3 names down in your planner. That way you take the guesswork out of it. A lot of times we sit down to do our IPA and we're like, oh my goodness, I don't even know what 3 am I going to reach out to. And we spin our wheels and we sit there for 20 minutes and we haven't reached out to anybody. So make a plan ahead of time. Plan it out for the month. I've got people on my team who have done that before, and it gives you a game plan and a framework, and it takes that guesswork and you sit down and you're that much more effective. So make that plan and, schedule it out ahead of time. So that's the 3. That's it. 3, reach out to 3 new people a day. The 2, and this is kind of twofold, okay? The first part of the 2, and especially if you're new, this is what I want you to hone in on. The 2 is to post at least 2 times on Facebook every day, okay? The second part has to do with follow-up, but let's talk about the Facebook posting part first. You need to be posting 2 to 3 times a day on Facebook, with 30% of that being Plexus posting. So really, I'm talking about at least 1 Plexus post a day. That's all I'm talking about. 1 personal and 1 Plexus, at least. The purpose of posting on Facebook, you guys, just remember, it really is to stay on people's minds. That's what you want to do. You want them to see you daily so that you are on their mind and they're thinking, oh yeah, that's what Ashley's up to. They went on a vacation. Oh, yep, there she is. She's drinking her pink drink. Oh, look, she started, doing this. Oh, there she is with those products again. You want to be on people's minds so that they're thinking about you. And when the time is right for them, it comes around that they're like, I want to try Plexus. You are the person that they reach out to because they've seen you. You're on their mind. They see you every day on Facebook. And that's assuming that you've stayed committed to that and you've stayed consistent. Show them consistency. And we talked about this, like consistency, especially in network marketing, it's such a rarity. People come and people go. Don't be one of those people. Stay in it. Stay committed. Stay consistent. That speaks volumes to people. And I promise you, people are watching your posts, even if they're not commenting or liking it. I guarantee you, 90% of my customers are Facebook people who never, ever liked or commented. Our products, when it comes to people's health, especially, weight loss, health, people are suffering with health issues, but they don't want the world to know it. By liking your post, it's basically like them saying, like, okay, I'm speaking to the Facebook land, I need these products. I need to lose weight. I'm unhealthy. I need this. People are not going to do that. It's a very private matter. So don't be discouraged if you're not getting any response on your posts. People are watching. Keep going. Don't stop. Friend your team, your sidelines. That's why, most of my comments on any Plexus post on any given day is you guys. It's not, my non-Plexus friends, it's you guys, but they don't necessarily know that. And it doesn't really matter because it's building that belief for them. They're seeing that other people are edifying and believing in the same thing I'm believing in. So be consistent with that posting. So what to post? Personal posts. I want you guys to stay balanced. Don't be someone who only posts about Plexus. So when it comes to your personal stuff, your kids, the things that you're doing, activities, recipes, gardening, inspiration. People love to be inspired, inspirational quotes, cool articles. Really good idea is to post every so often things that engage your audience, that ask a question and invite them to respond, invite people to, vote on A or B or answer a question, yes or no. Get that response, get that engagement, get activity happening on your Facebook page. So that's what you need to do for your personal posts. For your Plexus posts, I want you guys to really challenge yourself to post about your personal Plexus journey, okay? I don't mean wait until you have an amazing testimony. I don't care how small you think the changes that you're noticing in your life are with Plexus. No change is too small for you to post about, okay? Like I said, people are out there suffering. People are out there. Remember how bad you used to feel before Plexus. Remember, like you thought it was normal to come home, change into your pajamas, and lay on the couch. That's not normal. We know that now. People are out there feeling that way. So even the smallest changes, sometimes those are the ones that gets people's attention more than the big, huge changes. Not everybody needs to lose weight, but a lot of people feel like poo, So no matter how small of the change that you're noticing, I want you to post about that and share about our products, educate your audience, talk about our products, share an article. You could even share an article about the ingredients that are in some of our products. You're educating. And again, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. You're educating your audience, giving them information little by little. You're just dripping Plexus on them, giving them what they need and continuing to bombard them with that so that they've got a full picture when they're ready to make the jump. But the most important thing is really to show them how Plexus is impacting you. Okay, that's what they want to see. I'm not saying to not post testimonials of people that you don't know, but do that very sparingly because it's much more effective when you do. It catches people's attention much more than if it's like, there she goes again. 3 days in a row, she's posting testimonials of people that she doesn't know and I don't know. Doesn't speak to me. You can use those, but use them sparingly. More so people want to know why you're on the products and what they're doing for you, and they want to be educated about the products. So that's the posting, okay? That's the two posts a day at least. The second part of that too is, and I'm going to talk about follow-up, because if you're kind of new, I still want you to listen to this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit of a different way to do that. Once you've been doing this IPA for a while, I want you to also challenge yourself to follow up with 2 people every day, okay? If you're new and you don't have 2 people to follow up with every day, I want you to dedicate your Fridays to follow-up Fridays, okay? If you're seasoned, you've been at it a little while, I still want you to follow-up Fridays are an awesome thing, and I want you to still do your follow-up Fridays, but just know as the ball gets rolling on this, you're going to have people that you need to follow up with before Friday gets here. So those would be some people you would follow up with as your 3, 2, 1. So with follow-up, let's touch on that briefly. With the follow-up piece, this is huge. I will say, like you guys have probably heard, fortune is in the follow-up, and it's so true. The follow-up is what is going to set apart the dreamers in this business from the doers, okay? You have to follow up with your potentials, with your customers, with your ambassadors. And here's the thing, sometimes it's really easy to make that first contact, on your list. You got your list, and on the 3, you're reaching out to 3. Sometimes that's easy. It gets harder to be the one that keeps following up, because the thing is, you start to feel like you're annoying people or you're bugging them. But if you're doing follow-up effectively, if you're keeping the conversation going, you're asking questions, you're making it all about that person, not all about you, it's all about them. If you're doing that, the follow-up will come naturally and it will come easier. And if you're feeling like you're bugging them, I want you guys to take a step back and just reconnect to the power of our products and the power of our opportunity. Okay, make sure that your belief is firm and is deep, because if you believe in these products, if you truly believe that they can change lives, you really can't help but follow up, because you want those people, to experience these products. So if you feel that way, step back and really recheck yourself and connect with the power of what it is that you have to offer, the gift that you have in your hands, and let that be, that conviction that helps push you forward to follow up. Make sure, like I said, that your belief is unshakable, because really every person we come into contact with, they need our products, or they need this opportunity, or they know somebody who does. Every single person, one of those three things is going to be true. They need the products, they need the opportunity, or they know somebody who does. So don't let the work that you did in the first step, where you're reaching out and you're working your Franks list, you're doing all that work up front. Don't let that be for nothing. Don't drop the ball at the follow-up piece, okay? Because like we know, that it takes multiple exposures for somebody to Okay, now can you hear me? Thank you, Lauren. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me back up again. When you're doing that follow-up, the reason that is so important is I don't want you guys to spend all that time reaching out to people and then dropping the ball with the follow-up, okay? Because you're doing all that hard work on the front end, so make sure that you're seeing it through to the end. So when you follow up, either your follow-up Fridays, or if you're incorporating your follow-up into that 2 of your IPA, follow up with your current customers, troubleshoot with them, send them testimonies that you find that might resonate with them, maybe suggest a new product to help meet another health need that they have. Make sure they know about any specials happening. Once they're having success, you can ask for referrals, or start talking to them about flopping and flipping over to becoming an ambassador and helping them maybe think about the possibility of getting their products paid for. You're also going to follow up with your potentials. So like I said, remembering that it takes on average 12 to 14 exposures for somebody to take action, for somebody to jump on what you have. And if you think about like commercials, we see marketing, they know this. I mean, we see commercials over and over and over again, because they know the more that you can bombard someone, the more exposures you can give, the more comfortable they feel with something, and the more likely they are to finally, make the choice to jump on board. So again, with your potentials, you want to let them know anytime there's a special. You could send them diamond documentaries, you can send them really good articles, but keeping that conversation going and keep adding little pieces that are going to help them make a decision. So, and we've talked about this before, but just always keeping in mind that, our potentials that we're talking to and reaching out to, they have yet to experience the benefits of our products. They don't know what they're going to feel like once they start these products. We know the magic, we've tasted the pink drink, but they don't know yet. So Plexus is on their back burner. It is on the front forefront of our brain. We are thinking about it every day, right? So we feel like, gosh, they're not responding. They haven't ordered yet. they just don't want this stuff. That's not the case. It's just not a priority for them. So even that's why you have to follow up, even when you feel like they're not responding. You have to stay with it, because it doesn't mean that they don't want it and that they're not going to order. It just means that right now it's not a priority. Maybe they haven't reached their threshold of what it's going to take for them to make a change. Okay, everyone's threshold is different. But just keep following up. Okay, so that's the 2. So we've got the 3, reach out to 3 new people a day. The 2 is you're going to make at least 2 Facebook posts a day, with one of those being Plexus. And you're going to start incorporating following up with 2 people a day. If you're new, or if you've been at it a while, you're going to do your follow-up Fridays. Okay, the 1 is to check in with or train one of your ambassadors every day. Okay, so I want you guys checking in with at least one person on your team every day. And this could be sending them a training video, maybe like a business tip, the power of 3, or any kind of business tip video that you've seen that you want to share with them. Maybe give them a training on something to help them with expanding their product knowledge, a link to an article, asking about their goals, make a plan to help them reach their goals, support them, encourage them, motivate them, get on a 3-way call with them. Basically, I want you to daily be supporting your team. Okay, this is your team, so take care of them and make it a priority to reach out and train one of your team members every day. Okay, if you're new, maybe you're new and you don't have any team members yet, or maybe you've still got a small team. You're just you're building, and so maybe you've got 2 to 3 team members. Then I want you to reach out to your upline. Okay, I want you to reach out to the person that signed you up. If they're not working the business, reach out to the person that's above them. And maybe, say, okay, here's what I'm struggling with. What do you have to suggest? My customer is asking this, or they're saying this. How can you help me troubleshoot? I want to learn more about XYZ. Can you help me find some resources for that? Reach out to your upline, reach out to your sidelines. I want you guys to stay connected. That's basically what this 1 in this formula is all about. Connecting with your team, connecting with your downline, your sidelines. And this can be sidelines that are, outside of your leg. It doesn't even have to be sidelines that are under your same person. I've been so motivated and so inspired by people who aren't even on my team. They're not even on our team. They're people I just met in the Plexus world. But they're my sidelines. And so reach out and stay connected, stay motivated. This will keep you inspired, and really, opening your journey up, inviting other people in to become a part of your journey is so rewarding. It's it's something that it's like such an unexpected blessing, and it just keeps you inspired. So let other people become a part of your journey with you. So that's the 1. So we've got our 3, 2, 1, and now let's talk about our +1. And our +1 is one of my favorites, and it's investing in yourself every day. Okay, so I want you guys to make it a priority to invest and pour into yourself every day. Even if this is just 10 to 15 minutes, I want you to make it happen. Okay, so what does this look like? What could this be? Well, it could be watching videos. It could be listening to trainings. It could be listening to old recording calls. I've got a list on our Journey to Jewels page of old DDD team calls that are so good. They're all call recordings back before we were doing Zoom. And I go back to those a lot just to refresh myself on what I've heard before, because they're so good. Look up articles about the ingredients that are in our products. Pick a product a day and just say, you know what? Today I want to learn more about the E's, and look up the ingredients. Look up testimonials about the E's. Go to the product pages about the E's line, and just learn, read some stuff and spend about 10 to 15 minutes doing that. YouTube, obviously, great place for you to do some personal growth. TED Talks, another great source on YouTube. Reading 5 to 10 pages in your book that you're reading. If you're not reading any network marketing books, I encourage you to do so. A great place to start, Millionaire by Halftime by Presley Swaggerty. Be, Do, and Have More, that's his other book, is really good. Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. Go Pro by Eric Worre. Anything John Maxwell, his are going to be more focused on leadership, but the faster you can start to develop your own leadership skills and to see yourself as a leader, the faster your team is going to grow. So you cannot do that soon enough. But I want you guys to really recognize the importance of investing in yourself. The more you grow personally in this business, the more effective you are going to become as an ambassador. Because here's the thing, the more confident you become in yourself, the more confident you become in our products and in our business, in our industry, you become more effective. You become more bold. You become more passionate. You become an unstoppable force, really. You become something that people are drawn to and attracted to. And they're going to join because of you. Remember, we talk about that. People buy into you before they buy into the vision or the products. So become somebody who other people can be inspired and motivated by, that they want to buy into you. They want what you have. You've got to, and when you think about, like, as you build this team and you want to motivate and inspire others, you have to motivate and inspire yourself. It's that whole saying that we've always heard. You know, my mom says it to me all the time as a new mom. She's like, you have to give to yourself before you can give to your family. And it's true. I mean, it's so true. And the same is true for our business. You have to feed yourself. You have to motivate yourself before you can motivate anybody else. You have to inspire yourself before you can inspire anybody else. You can't give away what you don't possess. So if you're not motivated, if you're not inspired, you can't give that to anybody else. So that's why this part of the formula is one of my most favorite, because it's so vital to growing your business, to seeing yourself as a leader and to rising up to the challenges and to stretching yourself out of your comfort zone. You can't ignore this piece of the formula. So, okay, so just to recap, the 3, 2, 1 plus 1, the 3, you're going to reach out to 3 new people every day. 2, you're going to post at least 2 times on Facebook every day, with one of those being a Plexus post. And you're going to start incorporating following up with 2 people every day. 1, you're going to reach out and you're going to train and connect with 1 person on your team every day. If you don't have a team, you're going to connect with your upline and you're going to connect with your sidelines. You're going to stay connected and stay inspired by people who are after the same thing that you are after. Plus 1, you're going to invest in yourself. You're going to pour into yourself. You're going to grow and stretch and start to see yourself as a leader, so that you have something to offer to your customers and to your team members. And you're going to become a more effective ambassador because of that. So I want you guys to make a plan and to make a commitment to work your IPA every day for blank. You fill in the blank. A month, 2 months, 6 months. I mean, make this a priority and make it happen. And just think, like, what if you gave this 6 months? What if you gave it a year? What if you gave it 2 years and you stayed committed and you didn't look back and you did your IPA? I mean, the chances of you getting to the end of that 2 years and looking back and saying, well, that was a mistake, that was not worth it, those chances are very, very slim. The opposite will be true. You will look back and say, oh my goodness, that's all it took for me to get here. You know, in the midst of it, there will be days that it feels like a lot of work because you're not really wanting to do it. But when you see and you get to the end of those 2 years and you look back and you see all the fruits that your labor has, brought, it will be so worth it. So it is that short-term sacrifice of our time, of finding the thing that we need to give up for that long-term benefit of, building residual income. And that's what we're doing. We're building a business. Anything great is worth, you have to make sacrifices. Okay. If we're trying to create a new future for ourselves, we're trying to reach those goals. Those don't just fall in your lap. No one's going to just hand that to you. It takes sacrifice. It takes dedication. It takes you taking action to make those things become a reality. So just stay committed to that and stay in that place of discipline. One thing, and then we can, if you have questions, we can definitely, I'll unmute you guys. We can ask questions, but I'm wanting to do something in May, maybe make it happen May, or make your momentum happen in May, and do some small some small IPA chat groups, kind of like what we did for March Madness, where we can check in daily just to have an accountability. And so this would be for someone who's like, you know what, I am ready to run with this. I am serious about my business and I want accountability for doing my IPA every day. So be thinking about that. I'm going to make some posts on our team page, but be thinking if that's something that appeals to you, that you want to do. that you kind of want to step it up and get that accountability, because like I said, it's going to take sacrifice. There's not going to be an emerald, a sapphire, or a diamond who would tell you differently, that they got to where they are without making a singular sacrifice. Like, you just won't find that. So give the sacrifice now, so that you can reap that reward, that freedom later. Okay, if you guys have any questions about that, I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording.